She did something that most black women here don't do. She took herself out of the conversation and then told me what it looks like, mono and poly. Before I started talking back to them, I forgot that our women even have the ability to be able to take themselves out of first person.
So with that, tell us what you are looking for in a woman.
A woman that's stylish, a woman that's thoughtful, a woman that appreciates gesture over luxury. Because I'm gonna live a luxury life for the rest of my life, but I'm gonna do it in a humanitarian stance.
Welcome to Plan for Keeps, because dating is a mess, but we keep it moving. Today we have Vigilante. How are you today, Vigilante?
No, I'm good. I want to know why dating is a mess. Why do you feel that way?
You know dating in Atlanta is a mess.
Is it a mess?
It's a mess for a lot of people. I would say so, who don't fully understand themselves. That's my opinion. I don't know what your opinion is.
Well, would you like to know it?
I definitely would. I definitely would like to know.
Okay, so I've been in Atlanta since I was 15. I'm 30 now.
Mm-hmm.
So 15 years of me dating here. I guess for me, it's been kind of cool. I've been on an incline for the entire time that I've been here. When I came here, I was an athlete. And then when I graduated high school, then graduated college, and then got right into movies, and then went from a background to a lead. So like, I didn't really have the opportunity to be like a bum or to be like, to be like alternatively dating or struggle love. Like, it's been like an incline.
Got you.
So it's been, and the ratio.
Yeah, that too.
You've seen how beautiful the women are here. Our strippers look just like our librarians. They look just like our Walmart clerks. Like,
So it's been an incline for you.
I ain't got no complaints really.
Okay.
I understand people. I grew up with 5 sisters, so I already understood like female nature growing up, like hypergamy and optionality.
Mm-hmm.
I understand like woman talk. I've unfortunately read some of the group chat messages. I've seen the way that women talk. So like, I don't look at it from a surface level. Like I know what things mean.
So what does things mean? How is dating easier for you, just based off of what you know? It got to be more than you just being on the up and up from an athlete to college to this to that. What is it about Vigilante?
What make it easier for me is that I've created a great life for myself. Okay. I live so peacefully. So I think that when people come around, that the peacefulness is just kind of contagious. Okay. And then also when people come around me, it kind of makes them make a decision about themselves. You may feel like you have confidence until you come around me, and then you realize whether you have confidence or not. You may feel like that you're on the up and up until you come around me, and then it kind of makes you be like, okay, maybe I'm not doing as well as I thought I was doing. And then if I offer help to you, then that makes you then you will know whether you're insecure about taking help. Like you will learn things about yourself.
Hold that thought. I want to ask you a few things that I ask every other guest before we get real deep into our conversation. So the first, I want to know your age. I want to know one red flag, one pet peeve, and I want to know what you do.
Okay. In that order?
It doesn't matter. You can mix it up. Whatever.
Okay. I got you. So I'm 30. One of my pet peeves is entitlement. Okay. I don't like people that come with like automatic entitlement. Like here's an example. If a woman is somewhere, like she's at a bar or something, she's eating some tacos, drinking some wine, and I say, okay, I'll pull up on you. If me pulling up on her means that she feels that I'm responsible now for paying for that wine and those tacos that she was already going to be eating if I was there or not, that type of entitlement kills me. I don't like that.
Okay.
So what was it? What I do?
Red flag, and then what you do.
So a red flag that in other people or myself?
In other people.
A low level of understanding. I don't like people who can't adjust. People who are not compromising.
Okay.
I feel like both people, when you wake up every single day, when the male is waking up, how can I serve this woman? And the woman is waking up, how can I serve this man? You guys are going to have a great relationship. But when it's how can I take from and how can I take from, that's going to be a disaster.
I agree with that.
So that's one of my pet peeves right there is the low level of reciprocity. Like when you hear a woman say on the podcast, yeah, if my man do this, do that, do this, do that, then, every now and again I'll do. That's a red flag in itself because she's sitting back waiting, watching him do, and then she might do.
Okay.
Most of the stuff with us is gotta do, and then the stuff with y'all is usually in return. I give you a child, you might be a good mother. I give you a house, you might make it a home. I give you a relationship, you might be a good partner.
It's the same for men. That's why I don't like to generalize, because with a man, a woman might give him a child, but he might be a bad father. You know, they might get it into a home together, and that man might start off providing, and then he falls completely off. So I think it works both ways. That's why I don't generalize. I think that's where we disagree all the time.
In certain aspects, you have to. The burden of performance is not on you. If me and you have a home together and we lose that home, they're going to come directly looking at me like, what happened? And then they're going to come looking at you like, what happened?
Do you think so? Or are you talking about society standards?
Just in general.
Because if both of our names are on the mortgage, wouldn't it be both of our responsibilities? Shouldn't everybody be looking at both of us?
Idealistically.
But society, you're saying they're going to be
from societal standard. And then you got to remember that we are of the African diaspora, and we are living in a Eurocentric society. So that also puts another layer of added pressure as well too. So it's got layers to it.
Okay.
It's got layers to it. And then with the more successful that you become as a man is the more that you notice that a lot of women don't really have like they haven't found what they want to do in life. And then the things that they usually do want to do is more like elective. It's like cosmetic. It doesn't necessarily put a dent in the universe. It more so is just like a way for them to maneuver while they're here. If that makes sense, what I'm saying.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so that's a good segue into the fourth question is, what do you do?
Okay, so me, I am a public figure. I am a digital diplomat, and I am a liaison. They call me the extravagant, trendy Pan-African. And so essentially, since the last time me and you talked, I did my DNA results for all the companies, and it came out Igbo from Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Mende Timni tribe, Guinea-Bissau, Balanta Fulani, and then Kru people of Liberia. So I'll be moving to Sierra Leone in a couple of months.
Wow. What do you plan to do there once you move there? Like what's the goal?
So there are, here in America, if you are middle class, then you are considered rich anywhere else in the world. And from doing my history, I was able to look at the slave trade and how we got here. It really helped me get a better keen on the dating market as well.
Okay.
Because when you see a Black woman in America, if she doesn't know where she's from in Africa or had the opportunity to connect with some of those people, she's really just like a blank slate.
A blank slate?
I'm gonna tell you why. It's kind of like these wine bottles.
Okay.
You know what they are because they have a label on them. But if they didn't have no label on them, they would just be a bottle. That's kind of like how the Black woman that doesn't know where she's from in Africa is. It's just a bottle. But if I ask her and she says, "Oh, I'm Kenyan," now I know where her people are from, what type of food they eat, what type of tribe she's from, why her body's shaped like that, why her accent is like that, why her hair grows like that. Now I know how to properly react to what she's saying and interact with her.
Got you. Would you be able to interact with a Black woman in America who may not know where she's from, but she's goal-oriented and she has business about herself?
See,
does that make her a blank slate? Now
that right there, our women have never, outside of Queen Sheba and our Egyptian pharaohs from back in the day, have never really had to have Eurocentric business about themselves. That's back when Cleopatra from Greece came to Egypt, and then that became the standard. And then when Queen Elizabeth and those people became the Eurocentric standard for our women. That's where having business about yourself really came from. But our women, they made our clothes from scratch by hand.
Okay.
They prepared all of the best meals in the world that we still eat to this day because our roots was just that grounded. So, and no, I'm not saying for the people that's asking, do I believe a woman belongs in the kitchen? That's not what I'm saying.
Because I know that I wasn't. Cook too. I didn't come from. I'm gonna let you finish your statement, but my thought process as you was talking in the beginning, you said that women don't really know what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
If they're only homemakers, that sounds like a woman who maybe she does want to be a homemaker, but there's some women who are homemakers because they don't know what to do. Or if all they know how to do is make clothes and they're in a capitalistic society, they would rely more on a man and would want the man to do more of the doing. Because
so let's chime in on that. I have on clothes, you have on clothes. Everybody that we have met today has had on clothes. Thank God for some people. And that means that skill set that she has is $1 billion skill set.
I agree.
So that means that she don't have to rely on nobody, especially if her dad is doing what he's supposed to do in his life and being a father, her mother's being a mother, her family members are being a family. Our problem with our diaspora, especially in America, is that we are total opposites in tradition to what they are in Africa. A black woman to tell you straight up, oh, I don't mess with my mom, or I don't mess with my dad, or my sisters don't rock with me, oh, me and my baby daddy going through this. That's like 5 different lanes of trauma that a man would have to come into her life and deal with because she hasn't dealt with it herself. And until she does deal with it, now after she deals with it, then she still has to figure out where she's from on the continent to make a connection. Because her people from the continent are looking at her like, I look just like you. I know where you from, but you don't know. The black women in America are variants, and men are variants of the motherland. Gotcha. So in order for us to fix what's wrong in the diaspora and to fix what's wrong in the dating market, we have to first channel back where it all started from. We didn't start dating here. We started dating here, and then we got moved here. So we ain't gonna be able to figure shit out here.
Got you. So you don't sound hypocritical because you have your own story about kind of healing your own trauma and your own like family dynamics. Could you talk a little bit about that before we dive into your dating story?
Sure. I first just had to figure out how deeply rooted everything was. When I got my ancestral results, I put it on the refrigerator last Christmas, and everybody, all my sisters, I have 5, and then my mom, they all just walked right past the results. They glanced at it or whatever, but that let me know that our indoctrination of how deeply rooted and how slavery destroyed us is in 2025.
Got you. I'm talking about, hold on, before you go into that, I'm talking about a little bit more in the present because last time when we talked, you were telling me that's what you were doing, but I'm talking about like your parental relationships and.
Matter of fact, I was just about to get right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to get right there.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. So later that night, I asked my mom why she didn't, care more or look more into it, knowing that the results was right there.
Yeah.
And she said, I seen that you did it, and I seen it, and I seen it, and I was just like, And I said, Mom, you do know that when they took us on slave ships here and they raped our women and they hung our men and they beat us and took our clothes off of us and ripped our traditions and made our religions illegal and made it so we couldn't get land after they stole the land from Native Americans, etc., that they did all of that in the 1800s and the early 1900s so that in 2025, when you got the opportunity to see what you were, you would go,
yeah,
you wouldn't even care anymore. Mom, you're damaged. You don't even know that. And you're so damaged that now your daughters are damaged. They don't care. So this $1,800 that you pay for this 2-bedroom apartment would be $200 where we're from a month, while we're purchasing our land and building a home on top of it. So now when your daughters and your sons can't date effectively because you've indoctrinated them in a Eurocentric society with melanated skin, and they don't know where they come from, then all of that springs from you. And I don't blame you for back then, because this technology and modern day advances that we have now aren't here, but they are here now. And because of your 50 years of your blockage that you've had, you can't allow your 51st year to be like your past 50. So we got to start on a better path, or you're going to continue to damage your daughters even more. And they still got to date. So who are they going to bleed on? Their significant others. So now they got to come in overcompensating.
Got you. I want to hear more about you though.
I mean, that was about me.
That was about you, but I'm talking about more about your own trauma and what you've gone through. Like, I hear you talking about your mom's trauma, but you've had to have gone through your own trauma as far as just what you've been through. Maybe your relationship with your father. Like, what things have you had to push past to have this like mindset now?
Yeah. Well, that was another one. Well, in what you're saying, I kind of, since we're talking about like genealogy, the passed down hurt is more so what I'm talking about. Like how generations of
you're leaning in more onto the woman side though, and I want to hear more about
from the man
it's
too.
Definitely,
okay, so let's talk about that then. Let's pivot to my dad. So my biological father, he passed away probably about 10 years ago, and I didn't really have a relationship with him. I am a junior, but I only remember that I'm a junior whenever I have to write my name on paper. Because we didn't really have a relationship like that. My dad had rheumatoid arthritis, and he had something else too, where he lost his mobility as I was being born. And my dad was a very active member in the streets. And he was the coolest dude from what I'm told from my grandmother and from my mom. Their stories are like parallel, even though they don't really get along with each other. So he had 6 other kids, 2 other. So I think he got 3 baby mamas in total. And I just connected all of us this year.
That's cool. Okay.
So my brother, he has 2 baby moms, and he's the first out of us to have children. So my dad would have been a grandfather, and he was going through a financial with his situation. So then he came to me, and I told him that what does he do best? So he sent me some music. The music wasn't really that great. And I asked him, what else does he do? He said, I do graphics. So I sent him some stuff to help with my businesses for when I'm moving to Sierra Leone that I was going to do for somebody else. And he sent them right back to me in the same day. I said, this is what you do. Let's start you a graphic design business. So now that I'm sending him that money, he now is able to support his daughters.
Okay.
And then he's able to mend the relationship with both his baby moms on that side. And so I'm saying all of this to say that the trauma that we have and the things that we're going through can be mended easily with effort and with understanding of everybody's situation being different.
So with everything that you share, how would you say it's impacted your dating decisions and just how you date?
Okay, I got you. So before, when I was coming up, I understood like the intangibles of trying to get a place, trying to get a car, trying to maintain lifestyle, work-life balance, all of that stuff. I remember when me and you first sat down and we were talking about being feminine and being masculine and all of that. That was years ago. So I feel like that now at this point, if people are still having that conversation, it's just blatantly people just choosing not to listen to information at this point. So I've grown past having the conversation and more so just realizing that for some people, it just is what it is.
Got you.
And, with all of my recent discoveries, I've been a vessel for years now for people to pull strength from and to get information from. So even when it comes to the ancestry thing, for people who don't want to know, they just don't want to know. So the way it's impacted my dating is like, I give you an example.
Okay.
There's a woman who was interested in talking to me now, and she did some time in the military, and so she was able to save up a nice, a nice chunk of change, and she still has beautiful streams of income coming in. And one of her sisters has 3 kids by 3 different people, and so she's struggling back home, and so she calls her sister and tells her, da 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 da, and she goes, hey, and shoots it over. And she calls me and her tone is a little different this morning. So I know something's off. And, she's like, I just had to da-da-da-da, whatever. And I said, did you ask your sister about her baby fathers and like why they're not, and if they on papers and like, why? Because she got to take care of her stuff on her end.
Yeah.
And then also, have you had the conversation about her downsizing or relocating so that she can put her kids in a better position so that they can understand who, you know, that this ain't the way they gotta grow, that they gotta come up? And she was like, no, I can't really have that conversation with her. I said, so you just threw the money at the situation instead of actually talking about the situation. And I said, okay, this is a problem. This is not my problem. This is y'all's problem. And if you're asking somebody to come into a relationship with you and you're not even willing to talk to people who share the same blood as you, then you're not going to be able to communicate with people who don't. And then what happens if I'm around and I'm the one that has to bring this conversation up to her first? I'm not a part of the family. So now you've just started an argument months before the argument actually happened because you're not willing to do it. So also, if she has kids and you're putting them back in the same position for them to struggle in a Eurocentric space, that means that you're not even willing to open the door for her to be able to know about better opportunities. You don't know what she'll be open to, especially if she's the one who's struggling. If you're the one with the money, you have all of the leverage to open her ear for the conversation. So now you showcasing so much weakness, and there's so many other situations that you probably just throw money at instead of actually talking about, rather than, and talking and communication is how we actually fix this.
Yeah.
So I had to tell her, if your nieces and nephews grow up knowing who Trump is before they know who Queen Sheba is, that's your fault, because you had the opportunity to put them in a better position with the money that God blessed you with by putting you in a position to be able to serve in the military and to come out safe. And with that, you chose to do what most Black people that get into a position with money do, and that is to aid the people who their opportunity to be in that position. And then so if they don't have it and then they get it from you and you lose it and then they don't give it back to you, who got it now?
Who got it now?
Who got it?
Not none of them.
Nobody got it. So now we all hooked up together now, right?
Yeah.
When one person just had the opportunity to save everybody.
It's good to hear how an analytical man thinks just off of one simple situation.
One situation.
Okay. All right.
This is how you end up at a divorce table sitting across from a lawyer, and her whispering into the lawyer's ear talking about, I want this, I want that. But everything started off as love, love, love. I don't think any man who walks down the aisle anticipates that it's going to end up like that, but you can see certain things that'll let you know that that's the direction that it could head in.
Got you. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. We're going to pivot again.
Okay.
Now, do you have a funny or crazy dating story for us today?
Crazy dating story. I got a couple of them, but for time's sake, I'll give y'all one of them. This is back when I was celebrity judging for 107.9 at the Royal Peacock downtown, for those who have been there. And it was this beautiful light-skinned girl that was like, we was vibing, and then we ended up talking and having good conversation. And then after I'm done judging, we go outside, we still conversing, I walk her to her car. She not ready to go. And she like, yo, you want to go to this restaurant? I'm like, cool. We go around the corner. It's like 2 minutes away. She takes me under this parking deck. And I had never even heard of this restaurant. It's so dope. I go in, we sit down, get the menu. She start ordering stuff. Now, there's stuff on the menu, and then there's stuff that you can add to the stuff that you ordering. So now she's adding things and adding and adding.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, okay, she must like be a dental assistant, or maybe she served in the military, or maybe she, you know, got her a nice desk job or something. Like she's celebrating the night.
Yeah.
You know, so we get the bill. The bill is like 70 something, 80 something. I'm like, okay, yeah, we could bust this down. She got about 50, 60 worth on this, and then I got the rest, you know, boom and boom. But she looking at me like, and I'm just like, oh, wow. So that's what we doing. Okay. So I pulled 100 out of my thing, give it to the waitress. Waitress come back. She give me the change. Old girl takes the change from the waitress. And then she's like, I think that you should tip this much.
Oh.
And now I'm just completely blown. And this is before I ever even had any money. I think that money that they gave me that night was the money that I had.
Wow.
So I we texting the next day, and I was just like, the next one is on you. Even though I shouldn't have been trying to go out with her again in the first place, but I was like, the next one is on you. And she was like, no, that's not how it works. I'm the woman. Do you want to be treated like the woman, or do you want to be a man, or da 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 da? So this is, for those who don't know, this is gaslighting, and this is also reverse psychology. She's using like multiple tactics at one time. Now, at that point, I'm trained to know what's going on, but I don't have the lifestyle to back up.
Did you have the language?
I knew what she was saying. I
know, but did you have the language to? Let me let you continue.
Sure. So, I text her back and I said, receiving stuff from people doesn't make you a lady. That makes you a mooch, and that makes you a liability. Giving to people doesn't make you a man. That makes you an ATM. And then she texted me back and she said, when you have a daughter, are you going to tell her to go 50-50 with men? And then I said, my daughter in the future is going to come from a rich dad. So she's not going to have to deal with stuff like that. She's going to have a home before she's even able to live in it by herself. She's going to have a car for her sweet 16. Like the way that our parents were supposed to do for us. Her dad's going to do it the right way. So after that, she just texted back and just said, okay. So I don't know whether she was like done with the conversation or whether she just didn't know what to say back. And that was that. And then this is years ago, I posted it on Instagram when screenshots was like first came out. And then the post just went viral. And there was people in the comments just like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Da, 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 da. And it was just
just a back and forth,
back and forth between the men and the women. And, I feel like that people understood where I was coming from, even though I wasn't in the comments with them, because I had already said what I said. Right. I didn't need to add any more context to it. But I think that we finally got to a place where the conversation could, like, I helped open the door for people to talk about that stuff.
Gotcha. I'm curious to know, for your future daughter, like you said, she's going to have a home. She's going to have the sweet 16, the car. Yeah. When she gets with a man, like, what should that look like in your eyes? Like she exclaimed the 50-50, like what should that, if you are slick providing a lot of things up front, what does it look like when she does decide to have a man in her life?
The way that I look at life is like, whatever my daughter is talented at doing, I'm going to champion her to do that on the highest level, whether that be in entertainment, whether that be in making clothing, whatever she decides that she wants to do. So when a man comes into her life, all he has to do is just bring his masculine essence, his respect, his honor, his dignity, his loyalty, his moral values. That's all he got to bring. That's all that both people should have to bring to each other, because it's not each other's job to make each other financially stable. It's that person's family back home's job. I think that we forget how marriage even started in the first place. Back in the day, your dad would give you to another royal family because you're royalty. Yeah. And that was to keep the royal lineage together. Yeah. Now we have this thing called, I like him, she like me. We've just kind of indoctrinated this struggle love society.
Do you think we could just choose better? Because I don't know if I like the idea of my father choosing somebody because they're a royal either, though. So where do we meet in the middle, in your opinion?
I think
that, if you even agree with that.
Yeah, I think that there's two ways to go about it. I think that having a father's opinion to be able to say who he feels would be the best for you to marry, while also having other optionalities for marriage, not like dating or like F buddies, but more really for marriage. I think that America in itself is a matriarch society with a patriarch scapegoat. And this is what I mean when I say that. When Biden dropped down out the race and Kamala came into the race, that was the first time that I ever seen like Black women here feel empowered. Yeah. Even though she's never claimed to be Black herself. which is fake as hell on all sides. That's fake for the women to champion it, and it's fake for her not to say it. And then the very first thing, the very first thing that she did?
I don't.
She got Megan Thee Stallion to twerk for her at her thing. Now, you remember this, right?
I do remember.
Okay, so when she did that, were the women in the streets marching saying that they don't stand behind that? Okay, no. so now that's fake as hell twice now, right?
Okay.
All right. So did anybody else do anything about that? Did they take that off TV? Did they take it off YouTube?
No,
or is it's still up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we faked 3 times. So now, after that happens, the only time that we've ever seen our Black women stand together and march together is when they tried to take what away?
My mind is drawing a blank, but basically our rights to our bodies.
Mm-hmm. So when the women who have recreational intercourse, I guess I'd just say unprotected, but improperly supervised with themselves, the ones who don't care enough about their own body to put themselves in safe situations.
Okay.
When the recreational hoes, for lack of a better term, put themselves in a situation where they end up in certain medical situations repetitively, right?
Mm-hmm.
So nobody says anything about those people.
Go ahead, continue. Mm-hmm. Continue. Go ahead, continue.
Right. So, but when it was time for other people to come in and do something about those people, then other people championed behind those people, and then they used another group of victims, the rape victims and incest victims.
That's because that's my thought process on why I would march for that. Not so much for the recreational stuff, as you say, but more so incest that's a real thing.
No, that is a real thing. And here's the thing about that. The amount of incest and rape that happens, not to say that I support any of that, are those numbers in comparison to the recreation numbers. So really, those are the 2 groups that should be going at it with each other, because the reason that these people are about to lose theirs is because of these people, not because of the government, but because of the use of the program.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like, and like I said, my thought process behind it, and I'm going to circle back again because we're getting off of dating.
Okay.
My thought process behind why they did that is more so of the birth rate being low and them not caring about the incest victims or the rape or grape victims. It's more so of, we need to get the birth rates up because the job markets are going to be affected and all this other stuff that's tied to, if women don't produce babies, it's gonna take a big hit on the country. So that's why I thought, they were trying to do that.
No, I got you. So like when Stacey and Kemp was running, I don't know if you've seen, I had the pictures with them.
And I think I did see that.
And then with the new commissioners that are in the office, I got the photos with them. And everything I'm saying right now ties into dating too.
Okay.
The type of woman that would be involved with me would have to be someone who's at least a little bit versed in this, or be interested in becoming just a little bit more versed in it.
Okay.
And then it would also have to be a woman who's not one of the recreational hoes, for sure, who ends up at the clinic 4 or 5 times a month.
Look, Sarah.
And so the purpose of me saying that is to say, the Black woman is the most powerful, the most attractive. She sets the trends of everything. When you in school, you can't even have a popular woman in school until a Black woman sanctions her. The BBL aesthetic of every other diaspora, who are they trying to copy, who naturally has that body?
The Black woman.
My disappointment in the Black woman comes in to where her hair, her nails, her makeup, her dress up, her lack of giving a damn about where she comes from in the diaspora is what makes her blank. Because she is that. It's her. But she don't know that it's her. So now she acts as that when that's not her. You're her. So the whole time that we were in the space where what they would call the gender war, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
I don't think that it was a personal attack. I think that it was a wake-up call. It was a reminder of us saying, you don't need that.
Got you.
I'm going to a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and this new personality says that she wants my help getting booked on more podcasts. I said, yo, you want to come meet to the podcast tonight? She said, well, I got to go get my makeup done first. I said, no, you don't have to go get your makeup done first. The way that you look right now, this is your face. When you remember that this is your face and not when you get your face beat that that's your face, then you will be able to survive longer in the industry because you will have a self-confidence that exudes. And then I gave her some ideas. I said, so why, when you do a couple like your looks, since you get your hair done every 4 days, you might as well, when you do your looks, mimic it off of somebody. Say, hey, this episode, I'm gonna be doing a Queen Sheba look to pay homage to my melanated queens.
Got you.
But if it's not there, you can't put it there. So to me, I feel like that another downfall with our Black women is that their celebration for the motherland is like trendy. Like they want to talk about how melanated their skin is when it's like beneficial in that moment, but they don't want to necessarily live that on a day-to-day.
I can agree with that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where a lot of my disappointment comes in.
Okay.
I realize what happened with us. I'm seeing now what happened. Because when you're born in America, you just feel like this is the norm. Yeah. For us to just be some niggas here. But I realized that when you actually go back and look at our lineage, Mansa Musa is the richest thing to ever walk the face of the earth outside of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ was in Egypt. Where is Egypt?
See, I'm not as versed as you, so I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like I know where Egypt
is literally the connection point between Middle East and Africa.
Okay.
And it technically counts as one of the 54 countries in Africa. So Jesus was...
I know he was Black.
He was Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by default, it even says it in the damn thing. Skin of brine, hair of wool. So at what point do we stop tricking ourselves so that we can actually get back on the same page with each other? Everything I'm saying right now is to give you this information to empower the melanated queen that you are. Mm. That's why I can respect what Dr. Umar does, even though he panders. I can respect what he does.
Yeah.
Because I understand where that umph in his voice comes from. I get it. I see where it comes from. And when Nick Cannon does it, and when our other members of our diaspora do it, I see where it comes from.
Got you.
But here, this system wasn't set up for us to be able to poke our chest out like that. That's what the motherland is for. So when people know that Carolina was named after King Charles, that Maryland was named after Queen Mary, that the Duke of York is how New York got its name, that Jamestown was named after King James. The plan of being successful here was not for us. We were cattle and slave labor that got caught in the crossfire of a civil war between the British and the British.
Got you.
That's all that happened. And I'm saying all of this for the dating too, because once you get this information, then that's when the Black woman then goes, what do I have on this hair for? What do I have this outfit for? What do I should have on a dashiki? I should have on a wrap. I should have on that thing that I tie around like a skirt thing. I don't know what y'all shit is called, but you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're
saying. I should be carrying a basket on my head. This is us, not this.
I respect everything you're saying, and I agree with it for a lot of women. Mm-hmm. But there's someone like me. I like blonde hair. Mm-hmm. I like the aesthetic of blonde hair. I like the aesthetic of straight hair. Me personally, I don't think that means I hate myself, because I also can take this off and I can wear an afro. Last time when you did a podcast, I didn't have any makeup on. Mm-hmm. I just started this. You get what I'm saying?
No, I got you.
I think that there's nuances to everything, but go ahead.
Yeah, let me respond to that. Because as the Black woman, I think that our power, y'all power, is that y'all can do everything. Mm. So in the other room, I have a fleece. And for those who don't know what a fleece is, it's like a very upscale like type of jacket that comes with dress wear. And that fleece is French. So I'm not French. And the suit and tie is French.
Yeah.
It comes from that. So I know that I can do that very well.
Yeah.
I look better than any Frenchman. And I can do what they do and wear what they wear better than them.
Yeah.
But I got to know this first. And when I wear that, they got to know that I'm coming from this first. I am a African man in your French attire, not a blank man who feels that I'm somebody because I'm wearing your attire.
That's the difference.
That's the difference.
Gotcha.
And I feel like our African queens have to be, I am that African queen first, and then I can wear this blonde hair. You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. So with that, okay, tell us what you are looking for in a woman. Tell us what you're looking for in a woman. I feel like I've heard just pieces throughout the episode, but just straightforward, what you're looking for in a woman. You're moving to what part of Africa again?
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone?
Sierra Leone first.
Okay, Sierra Leone first. So y'all gonna have to travel to Sierra Leone. If you decide you are interested in Vigilante, but tell us what you are looking for.
Okay, so out of what I've said so far, I want you to let me know what you've heard that I would be interested in, and then I'm gonna expound on that. Let me know.
It sounds like you are looking for a woman who is well versed in a lot of different topics, but definitely she needs to be knowledgeable of where she comes from and who she is as a woman. Someone who is good with their natural beauty. I want to say someone who's business minded as well, who can take their talents and multiply it. I'll start with those three. And if I'm correct, you can expound on that and then expound in general.
Yeah, you good so far. Somebody that has a high level of understanding. The very first conversation I ever had with an African woman after I got my first result, I remember I asked her if they still do poly relationships out there. And she said, yeah. And she did something that most Black women here don't do. She took herself out of the conversation and then told me what it looks like, mono and poly.
Okay.
And then I asked her, and then she brought herself back into the conversation. If you ask any Black woman here about poly and mono, they gonna remain first person in the conversation and tell you how they feel rather than what it looks like in general.
Yeah.
So before I started talking back to them, I forgot that our women even have the ability to be able to take themselves out of first person and just be a human being and just exist and just give information. So I need somebody that's able to do that as well too, where they can take themselves out of first person and exist within the union.
Okay.
So that's another one. I really admire women that have a high level of understanding.
Okay.
I'm all about the ancestors, so I really would love somebody that's willing to honor the ancestors with me as well.
Okay.
I want to put it out there too that I do not hate white people or people of any other diaspora.
I didn't get that at all, but go ahead.
It's for the sensitive ones because you know my audience is so diverse.
Yeah.
That I don't want there to be any confusion.
Got you.
What I'm saying is that I understand who I am, where I come from. I don't have any problem dating any other woman of any other diaspora, but she has to have our diaspora in high regard. Yeah.
Got you.
She can't look at it like the way that her forefathers may have looked at it. Yeah. So a woman that's stylish, a woman that's thoughtful, a woman that appreciates gesture over luxury. Because I'm gonna live a luxury life for the rest of my life, but I'm gonna do it in a humanitarian stance.
Got you.
I'm looking forward to going to the village and putting solar panels and wells and modernizing Africa and helping to build it to its new stance. I don't care if they call it a third world country or not. It's ours. It's none of their business.
I feel that.
And I want a woman who's willing to have that same fire inside of her about what belongs to us.
Okay. That's good. All righty then. And then my last question for you, Vigilante. What is the hardest lesson you've learned within dating and relationships?
It's that people die twice. You die when you peak in your life as a human, and then you die in the physical realm. So the moment that you stop growing, the moment that your goals become luxury and elective rather than necessity, you have died for the first time. And I think that 90 to 95% of people are dead walking around. I drive my dream car every single day. And when I'm parked anywhere, when I'm driving anywhere, when I look to my left and look to my right, I don't see other people doing that. I live my dream career every single day. I wear what I want, do what I want, go where I want. I don't see other people doing that. And I don't think that many other people strive to even do that. But they want to get with somebody that they know deep down in their heart would like them more if they were that person. So they have already died.
Got you.
And now this other person has to intertwine with a dead person that they don't know is dead.
Got you. All right. Well, we're going to close it at that. Vigilante, thank you so much for coming on the show.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I want to thank all of the listeners for tuning in. Don't forget to download the dating app Plan for Keeps. And until next time.
Dating be a mess, but we still press on, playing for keeps. We telling the truth, yo. Single, still hopeful. Lesson learned, then we laugh. Crazy stories, real love. Let's get into it.